So I started in college, just studying plant science, thinking if I learned about plants, I could help solve world issues in agriculture and stuff. And then I learned about pest management, and that got me excited. And then my first job out of college was in retail nursery where we sold ornamental plants, and I learned a lot about ornamental plants and just became passionate about them and fell in love with them. So I'm an entomologist, and I work in the area of pest management in ornamental systems, woody trees and shrubs. And we often, within pest management, I tend to focus on applied research in the area of biological control, so getting the good bugs to control the bad bugs. I think they play a lot of roles. There's the ecological role that they play, because being a scientist, I kind of think of that first. So, carbon sequestration and other things that they do ecologically and community dynamics with other organisms. That's really important. Cities that have more green space, people overall are happier and less depression and things like that. So green space is good for mental health. Just in the last couple of years, there was a study that came out. We have emerald ash borer in the States, and so we have millions of trees being killed in urban areas, natural and urban areas, but the urban areas. And the study showed that in cities that had lost a lot of trees to emerald ash borer, that it was affecting the health of people that lived in that city. If we start to lose our trees, there are many cascading effects from that. And I think there are lots of examples of exotic insects and exotic diseases coming into countries and just really crushing populations of trees and eliminating trees. I think the threat is there, and it's got a lot of cascading consequences in addition to removing the trees from the systems, but all of the consequences associated with those. So definitely should be on the top of the list of many government and other agencies. Integrated pest management. And I think that's really the best way to manage our plants, because it includes, all the cultural things, the tree care, keeping your trees healthy, putting trees in good sites where they're going to do better, and then all the cultural mechanical things that go and the maintenance things that go with tree care. All those are really important, because if those aren't done right, then it predisposes them to other things like diseases and insects. Within pest management, I tend to focus on applied research in the area of biological control, so getting the good bugs to control the bad bugs, and in particular with invasive species. So right now in the US, we have two big ones that are attacking our ornamental systems, the emerald ash borer, which is devastating, and then another one called the brown marmorated stink bug. Yes, it's a brown marmorated stink bug, and it's from Asia, of course, and it was introduced into our country in the mid-90s. And for both of those, we've been doing research looking at the indigenous natural enemies. So they're both exotic insects that came into the US. So I'm trying to learn what our native natural enemies within the US are doing to those exotic pests. So are they moving on there? Are they attacking it and having an impact on their populations and helping to suppress it? In addition to that, the other component of biological control for these exotics is scientists go to the country of origin of the pest. They find out what natural enemies are controlling it there. We bring that into the United States, and then we do a lot of studies to try to determine if we can release it and not have non-target effects and have positive impacts on the invading pest. So whenever you see something that doesn't look right on your trees, you should then pursue it and try to figure out what's going on. So diagnosing any problems is really important. And the tree guys have it hard. I'm an entomologist. I just need to know insects. You guys need to know all the abiotic and the diseases and the insects that are potential problems. So you guys have a challenging job. So I know it's important to be aware of everything. Well, I think we have a real opportunity here with the big issue of global change, global warming, which is a worldwide issue that many people are aware of. Even though not everybody agrees that it happens, as scientists, we know that it happens, and as tree people, I'm sure most of you are aware that it's happening. I think trees are really good systems to study some of those effects. So trees and their interactions with other organisms, so insects and pollinators and how they interact. So I think if we're going to see the effects of global warming, insects and trees are good systems to look at those, because you can more readily detect range expansions of trees and where they grow, and range expansions of insects and that attack the trees and or pollinate the trees. So I think they're really good systems for that. So I think using them in the context of global change and studying and learning about it is a good way to bring them to a higher level of attention to the general public. In addition to all the other cool things that trees do with, you know, helping with pollution and all of those types of things, and producing oxygen. So I think that's good.
Oxygen's always good.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of like that stuff, yeah. And you're going to edit this as, like, if I mess up, you'll cut it out, or is this going to just go?
We'll roll it all if you want to do something.
Like if I dropped an F-bomb or something, you would edit that out?
You can, just drop as many as you like, please.
This is the UK. You guys probably do that.